Another very important area for HTML5 is mobile devices or mobility in general. And HTML5 is of course prepared to work in this area as well as it does with web applications in general. And a big push in this area is due to the popularity, of course, of Android and iOS Apple apps. And so it's popped up quite a few JavaScript libraries that allow us to mimic the press and long press and the finger-based navigation used in the web browser, or used in apps, so we can duplicate that in the web browser. So we have to be able to duplicate the long presses and short presses and taps and drawing or dragging our finger from one side to the other to make things rotate and so forth, because we need that same type of functionality in web applications if we're going to support mobile devices as equally as well as they are supported in the native applications. So there have popped up quite a few libraries to help us do this: Cincha, PhoneGap, jQuery Mobile, for example. And the example I'm going to walk you through very quickly is jQuery Mobile. jQuery Mobile is based on the jQuery JavaScript library that makes it much easier to do complicated JavaScript, animations, transitions, all types and manners of things you would do with JavaScript. They make it more object and prototype based so that you can just create objects and make things just work. And so they've made a mobile variation of jQuery. And what that does is it provides us with an appearance that would look like a native app. So the buttons and everything fill the screen, and your web application looks like a mobile application. And it scales appropriately, and it'll also rotate from portrait into landscape properly. And of course, it automatically supports the proper events with dragging, long pressing, and pressing, and so forth. So to use jQuery Mobile, the first thing you have to do is link in the jQuery Mobile scripts so you can have access to their code. And we can see here I do that. And I link in two things. This first line here, I link in a style sheet. And this style sheet is a jQuery Mobile, so that's styles. And they have a variety of styles and base styles that you can use for buttons and so forth that makes the appearance equal over a variety of devices. We have to say the benefit with using HTML5 to create apps as opposed to native apps is that you can write your code in one place and use it on a variety of platforms, the classic write once, run everywhere principle. So this CSS, we import it from jQuery Mobile, and that gives us, so we can design that the apps look correctly on mobile devices. And then we import the regular jQuery here, codejQuery.com. This script we import from there, and the jQuery Mobile. So we've got all our necessary libraries imported in the head. And then if you want to see, I put a link in the course here so you can see to jQuery Mobile, so you can see all their tutorials and everything about how the pages are designed. But basically, it's a div-based page structure. So you can see I put some comments here. Start of first page 1. I think I do 3 or 4 pages here. And you put them all in one HTML file. And so you navigate and change and transition between these pages. And then they have a variety of attributes. Data role, data theme, and use the theme to set the different themes. I think they have A through E, A, B, C, D, E, different colored themes. And you give them IDs, and you give it. And then you can have a header for each page. You have a content for each page. There's a data role. And then you can have a nav bar. I'll show you what they look like shortly. And then you can give all these transitions as well. They can flip and spin and so forth to mimic what they do in native apps. And then there's the footer of the first page. And then here comes the second page. And I'm just entering a variety of graphical interfaces here so you can just see what stuff looks like. And then I have in the content there a collapsible set. Here's a collapsible section in the page. And I just put some select in there with some options, a drop down bar basically. I put a form. Of course, they have a form as well. I'll just go down a little quickly to the third page, and I make it a pop-up. They also make pop-ups, of course. You can enter some information, see it. And a third page, another pop-up. And that was the fourth page. I forgot to change. Start of the third, and this is actually the fourth. I should change that. So let's check on what this looks like. Obviously, you want to test this from a mobile device, so it'll look a little bit better. For me, recording my screen here while I'm talking to it, it was much easier to do it in the web browser, so that's what I'm doing. So I'm going to show it to you. The good thing is that, of course, this page will scale and work just fine in a desktop browser as well. And this is what it looks like, our little example. So this is page 1 that starts out being shown. And you can see if you were doing it on a mobile device, it would support clicks and drags and so forth. When I show page 2, we see we get a flip there. It flipped between the next one. And we can see these different accordions here to drop downs and so forth. And our form to enter stuff. Yep. And then we can hide those. And it's supporting all this. Upload a file, choose a file. It pops up the appropriate browsers. We can go back. Little animation. We show a pop-up. There we go. Back to page 1. You can see there on that one, I've changed the theme. So here's a yellow theme instead of the black theme in this one. I've just done it for showing you purposes. And here another page. Here is a more of a gray color. So this gives you the basic navigation. Just another thing to show you when you're working on your mobile devices. Even if you want to work from the web browser, in Chrome, you can go into the settings, tools, developer tools. You open that. There it comes slowly. And then if you go on this little symbol here, I'm not really sure what it means. There. You can do emulation, and here we get it. You can see that it emulates in this. You can say what type of device it's emulating. You can pick Apple iPhone 4 or Nexus or whatever. Let's say Apple iPhone 4. And you can test and show, I have to do emulate, what it looks like. And then you can test it and see how things should behave exactly the same. So it's basically emulating the different browsers for different devices. Works rather well. I've tested it. Of course, my this application doesn't really do anything so amazing. We can change device to the Nexus 10 and emulate. Oh, much higher resolution in that device. But you gather how it works. So this was a quick introduction to mobile jQuery, a way to create web applications that become mobile web applications in a very easy way by importing their libraries and styling. So, as usual, download this code, test, and try to see how much you can learn about mobile jQuery.